Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.
Hello everybody, this is Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show, and I'm so excited. My next guest I've known for years. I wrote about him in my books, and he's one of a kind. He's an amazing man. He's 91 years old, and you wouldn't tell it by looking at him, but that's his age. And it's just an amazing amount of knowledge. I'll let you check all that knowledge out. Go to his website, which is drbass.com. It's dr.bass.com. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. There's Dr. Stanley Bass. All right, how you doing?
How you doing? Good.
All right, you look amazing for your age and your energy and everything else. And let's get right into it. You were just telling me you've been off fruit for a long time and your energy was low at first. Continue what you were telling me.
Yes, I gave up fruit about 4 months ago.
100% fruit?
Yeah, and I did get a letdown because sugar's a stimulant.
Now, is that just sweet fruit or all fruit?
All fruit.
Okay.
I haven't even had one berry.
Okay.
And then after about 2 months, suddenly the energy... Oh, I did get a letdown, which lasted for a couple of months. And then my energy had to drop low. And then suddenly my energy shot up. And then 2 weeks later, shot up again. So now my energy is terrific. I could even go into a marathon if I wanted to.
Wow, that's wonderful. So what's your... right now, I mean, I want to get into your history, your past, because I know you did a lot of fasting. I want to show some of your things here that you just showed me on your wall. But right now, I just want to, just so my viewers, because I know what their question is going to be. They see a good-looking 91-year-old man, they're going to all ask me, what's your diet like now on a regular basis? So give me an example of your diet now.
Well, I eat a small meal, just a few ounces, and in the evening. And then an hour later, or an hour and a half later, I have one meal, a main meal.
All right. So what time do you usually get up on an average, on a daily day?
Well, I'm writing books now and doing a lot of research. And so I get up sometime in the afternoon.
Okay. So you get up in the afternoon. I assume you go to sleep very late at night.
No, I go to sleep about 12, 1, after Charlie Rose.
Okay. So you're sleeping... So you're sleeping how many hours a night? Like 10 hours? 8 hours?
Well, it's broken up because I get calls and then I sleep again and then I read and I sleep. And I average maybe about 9 hours if I can.
So you eat a small meal, a couple of ounces when?
Well,
or what time?
It's like I one and a half meals a day and I have them close. So I'm fasting every day.
So what time do you normally eat your first meal or your main meal?
Well, it might be around 6 o'clock, and then about 5 or 6, then I go out shopping, take a walk, about a half a mile. Then I come back, and then I have my main meal. And then after feeding the cat, my raw food.
So what do you have in your main meal?
Oh, so my first meal I have a blended... well, I start off with a glass of water and 2 heaping ground flax seeds in the water, for the omega-3 and for good internal lubrication and the mineral content. Then I have a blended salad of about 4 ounces. Then I have an egg yolk, or sometimes I'll have about a tablespoonful of raw chicken liver.
Okay, so you have a blended salad, about 4 ounces of blended salad, and you have a raw egg yolk and some chicken liver. Is that in the salad mixed in or just separately?
Sequentially.
Sequentially, because you're in charge. Essential eating is your thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, okay. So, and then you're up. Now, obviously, you understand it's not good to eat before going to sleep, and you're not doing that because you eat late, but you stay up late. But you know, I just gave you my book, The Daylight Diet, which I just wrote about.
Yeah.
And it talks about eating when it's light outside being ideally best for digestion, because when the sun goes down, digestion slows down. But you don't do that. So what's your opinion of that?
Sanford Bennett wrote a book in the 30s. He was not a doctor. He just had one idea. And his idea was to go to bed on an empty stomach 4 or 5 hours after eating. And then to sleep on an empty stomach. And then when they got up, they felt very energetic because the body recuperated. But if the body has to digest food, you wake up feeling tired because you haven't recuperated enough energy.
Okay, so you're in all agreement that the more empty your stomach is before you go to sleep, the better off it is.
Always, because
Okay.
I used to fast periodically, and every day, the next day when I fasted, I always felt great.
Now, do you think it makes any difference if eating when it's daylight outside or darkness outside?
Well, yeah, I mean, animals and humans are synchronized with the sun. They usually get up close to sunrise in primitive surroundings. Get up at sunrise, and then they eat the main meal sometime in the afternoon, and that's it. And some of them don't eat at night, and some, if they do eat at night, if they're living in cities or civilized, so-called. But primitive man, in fact, there was a tribe in Africa that was interviewed, and this tribe was told that the white man eats 3 meals a day. They said they couldn't believe it because they have lived on 1 meal a day for thousands of years. And Dr. Kurser used to feed he had dogs and cats, and he told me he used to feed them once a day and then fast them 1 day a week on water, and they never got sick. He says if he left out the fast or more than once a day feeding, they didn't stay as well.
And you yourself have been on this a 1-day meal plan or promoting it now for 50 years or so, right?
God, yeah, sure.
Okay, well, I want you to get into your now we know what you're doing now.
Yeah.
But for my viewers, I want you to get into your background of how you got into the diet, how you met Jan Curcio, why you do what you do now, because you're unique than most other raw fooders out there, because you're not a vegan. You do raw food, but you do some
Well,
animal
I was
products.
a vegan, I was a raw food, I was a fruitarian, I was everything.
Well, let's get back to the beginning and see what led you up to the conclusions of what you do now, and let's
Well, the interesting was the beginning was very interesting. I had a friend who was told that he had a heart condition, and he used to lay around his house all day long for years, and I used to visit him often because I lived close to him. And one day he went to a naturopath, and the naturopath told him there was nothing wrong with your heart. You have gas pressure against your heart from what you're eating. So he put him on orange juice for 10 days, and after that he was cured. He never had the pain anymore, and he went back to exercises. So that aroused my curiosity, and I went to the library, I started to read. I went to William Howard Hay, Erasmus Alsaker, and the Orthodox nutritionist Mary Schwartz-Rose, von Bunga, the German physiologist, and then I came to Tilden. And Tilden wrote on venereal diseases, and so I was reading his work, and he said something that just startled me. He said, the flu is not a disease. The flu is a very extensive detoxification that the body goes through. And during the flu, the body cleanses itself so thoroughly that the life is actually prolonged. But it is certainly the body's way of keeping itself rejuvenated and not a disease. So I said to myself, this is unbelievable. If this is true, it can change a person's life. So I went home. I was living with my sister and 2 brothers. My parents had died. And I had pretty much, I was like the papa of the family. So I undertook a fast. And I tried to get the flu to prove that whether Tilden was right or wrong. So this was in the winter time. I was living in the Bronx. So I slept near the garden. I opened up my window. It was blowing. The wind was blowing. I took a hot bath, and I didn't dry my body. And I lay down on an oilcloth on my bed near the window. Pulled my bed up near the window, and I let the wind blow on me for hours. So I was just shivering, starting to shake. And after a while, after shaking, I developed a high fever. So I immediately went to bed, closed the window, and went to sleep, and I slept for 3 days and nights. It was, I don't think I didn't wake up to urinate or anything because I wasn't eating or drinking. So you could say I was on a dry fast. After 3 days, I came back to sort of consciousness, and I looked in the mirror, and that was the best I had ever looked in years, and I was only 16 then. So I said to myself, Tilden is right. Now my whole life is different. Now I had no fears anymore about disease, about germs or bugs or anything, because it's all in the resistance.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show.